to our virtual story time. We have a special story time this week. We are reading books about swimming and we're going to Gibson Pool. So that's going to be really fun. But another special thing we have for story time this week is a take and make craft bag. So you can come get one of these at Columbus Library or Saluda Library, and it has 4 things in it. It has a little skewer or chopstick. It has some stickers. There's all different kinds of stickers. It has a little slice of a pool noodle, and it has a piece of foam. So we are going to make pool noodle boats. So it's pretty easy. You start with your pool noodle slice, and you put that on the bottom. Your piece of foam is going to be the sail. So depending on what size of foam you got, you might need to cut it a little bit. So you will need some scissors at home, and you might need some help from a grown-up. But you know what? I think mine's a pretty good size and shape, so I'm going to leave it for now. And you might want some markers to decorate your sail. So I'm going to write my name on my sail, Jen, and I'm going to put my sticker. So it's easier if you do it before you attach the sail to your boat. I'm going to put my sticker and my name. You can decorate it with your marker and stickers. And then this skewer is pretty long, so I'm actually going to break it. You definitely want a grown-up to help you with this. All right. So now we have to make the sail. So you're going to take the pointy end, make sure a grown-up is helping. You're going to stick it through the top of your foam, and then, actually I'm going to stick it in from the front so that most of it is hiding behind the sail. And then you're going to stick it down through the bottom of your sail. And then you'll move your sail all the way to the top. And then you will stick your sail into your boat. And if it's tipping over, there are 2 things you could do to make it stand right. You can make the skewer shorter, or you can make the sail smaller. So you can break the skewer a little more or cut the sail, and then go in your bathtub or your pool or your creek and see if it floats. All right, stay tuned for some fun stories at the pool. Hi guys, it's Jen with Polk County Public Libraries, and for today's story time, we are at Gibson Pool in Columbus. So we are swimming, and we're going to read you some books about swimming. So our first book is called Jabari Jumps. I'm jumping off the diving board today, Jabari told his dad. Really? Said his dad. The diving board was high and maybe a little scary, but Jabari had finished his swimming lessons and passed his swim test, and now he was ready to jump. I'm a great jumper, said Jabari, so I'm not scared at all. Jabari watched the other kids climb the long ladder. They walked all the way out to the end of the board, as big as tiny bugs. Then they stood on the edge. They spread their arms and bent their knees and sprang up, up, up. And then they dove down, down, down. Splash! Looks easy, Jabari said. But when his dad squeezed his hand, Jabari squeezed back. Okay, ready? Jabari stood at the bottom of the ladder. He looked up. You can go before me if you want, he told the kid behind him. I need to think about what kind of special jump I'm going to do. Jabari thought and thought. Jabari started to climb up and up. This ladder is very tall, he thought. Are you okay? Called his dad. I'm just a little tired, said Jabari. Maybe you should climb down and take a tiny rest, said his dad. A tiny rest sounded like a good idea. When he got to the bottom, Jabari remembered something. I forgot to do my stretches, he said to his dad. Stretching is very important, said his dad. I think tomorrow might be a better day for jumping, Jabari said. They looked up at the diving board together. It's okay to feel a little scared, said his dad. Sometimes, if I feel a little scared, I take a deep breath and tell myself I am ready. And you know what? Sometimes it stops feeling scary and feels a little like a surprise. Jabari loves surprises. Jabari took a deep breath and felt it fill his body from the ends of his hair right down to the tips of his toes. Jabari looked up. He began to climb. Up and up and up and up until he got to the top. Jabari stood up straight. He walked all the way to the end of the board. His toes curled around the rough edge. Jabari looked out as far as he could see. He felt like he was ready. I love surprises, he whispered. He took a deep breath and spread his arms and bent his knees. Then he sprang up off the board, flying. Jabari hit the water with a splash. Down, down, down he went, and then back up. Whoosh! Jabari, you did it, said his dad. I did it, said Jabari. I'm a great jumper. And you know what? What, said his dad. Surprise double backflip is next. The end.
Hey friends, it's Miss Amelia from the library, but today I am at the swimming pool to read you a special book called Little by Little. And this has one of my favorite animals in it. This is a river otter, and river otters love to swim.
Help me! Help me!
Otto was making a list, an I can do list, and an I can't do list. On the can-do list side was much larger. On it was forward roly-poly, backward roly-poly, being kind to frogs, mudsliding, making very good sandcastles, slippery rock hopping, and the can't-do list side was much shorter. It just said swimming. Otto, are you going to swim today? Asked Beaver. No, said Otto. Not at all? Asked Bear. Not even a little? Otto sighed and went home. Don't listen to Bear and Beaver, said his mommy when Otto told her. Little by little you will learn to swim. Otto decided he would have to keep trying. Sometimes Otto would pretend he could swim, but really he was hopping very, very quickly along the riverbed. Other times he would run along the riverbank, trying not to be left behind by his friends as they spun and tumbled around the water. But most days, Otto would simply sit on his favorite slippery rock, wishing and wishing from his whiskers all the way down to his toes that he could swim.
What?
Every day, his mommy would say, "Today's the day." Then, one sunny day, Otto and his sister were watching their friends jumping off the highest ever rock into the deepest ever pool below. You've got to start small, his sister said. Small, said Otto. Yes, small, she said. Come on, today is the day to start small. That's how I did it when I learned to swim. So Otto started small. He hopped along the riverbed, keeping his toes off the bottom just that little bit every longer each time. Then he did higher hops with floating in between. The next day, Otto did floating without holding on to anything. And pretty soon, he was kicking all the way to the halfway stone. A few days later, Otto splashed and kicked and swam the whole width of the river from one bank to the other, all by himself. And little by little, that width became the length of the river from Otto's den to the deepest end ever pool. Before long, the splashing and kicking turned into gliding, and roly-polies along the riverbank became underwater tumbling. When he was ready, Otto invited his friends and family to come see his surprise. With everyone gathered along the riverbank, Otto jumped off the highest ever rock into the deepest ever pool. I did it, said Otto to his sister. I can really swim. You really can, laughed his sister, hugging her very wet little brother. You see, you started small and you finished big. The end.